Welcome, everyone. This is the second of our three broadcast training videos. The first one was tracking. It's already up on the YouTube. If you want to learn how to track, that's a great way to start. That's a great way to start doing broadcasting for FFR in general because it teaches you the game well. You learn the icons, you learn the layout, you learn how things go. This second video between myself, Darkmoon, and Jay Scheidel, who's here in the booth with me, will be covering commentary. What is good and bad about commentary? For this race, Jay Scheidel and I were discussing Fall League flags, trying to find a good one to use. We have settled on Week 3, Game 1 of Fall League, which was Mage on a Stick, which we'll explain as we get into it. Or really, the commentators that we're going to be listening to will.
Right.
But effectively, and Jay Scheidel can comment further on this, we are going to watch another race that people commentated, Fizzlebeef and Luffy, and then we're going to discuss their commentary, pausing, getting into the details and seeing what made them work and maybe things that they could improve.
Yeah, basically try to give you an overflow on how to do commentary. So good things to talk about as the race is getting set up and you're introducing people. Good things to talk about during the race, like if there's a lull or, we always have that time where the one runner's doing the same thing the other runner just did, and how do you make the same thing interesting twice? So we'll watch along, kind of see what's up and see what happens.
Yeah, so we're going to do the intro first. Probably spend the first 15-20 minutes of the video just doing the intro part and watching their intro and discussing it. And then we'll start skipping ahead to various parts that just look interesting before going in for like a bit of the end of the dungeon and wrap up. Should be about, 40-45 minutes of us listening to them and discussing them, and then we'll wrap it up in time for the Tetron Memorial stream. So let's get this rolling, and I will press play now.
Good evening, Randomizer fans, and welcome to the Final Fantasy Randomizer Fall League 2025. My name's Lord Fizzlebeef. Joined with me in the booth today is Luffy. How's it going, Luffy?
Fizzle, how you doing? There are very few things that can drag me away from an American football Sunday, but one of them's Final Fantasy Randomizer. The other one's hanging with one of my buds. I'm very excited to be here. We got the start of Week 3 Fall League. Teams are starting to separate a little bit in the standings, but it's still anybody's game, and we got some fun flags tonight, don't we?
Okay, so first thing I want to commentate on is I know various people have different intros and so forth that they'll do. Fizzle is very good at his intro. He's very good at being both silly and hyped at the same time. I love listening to Fizzle just intro a race and do his dumb stuff during it. And what I want to point out here is he's good. He gets in, he gets you set in what you're about to watch. He then immediately kicks it over to his co-com, so he's not dominating the conversation, which, as you can tell from this, I'm terrible at.
You're good. You're fine.
And then when it goes over to Luffy may gives a little bit of personal color for himself, but he then makes sure that we're focused on the game and not the two people talking.
Yeah, and the big thing that he does there is introduces what's going on. So he gave you a little bit of history on, hey, we're in the Fall League, we're on Week 3. He kind of knew a little bit about the background and the teams are starting to separate. No matter if it's the first match of a tournament, the last match of a tournament, or if it's a pickup race, kind of tell people what's going on, what to expect. Are we halfway through this tournament? Is it the beginning of the Duckling Derby? This is where we start our new players out. Or, no, this is the final round of our main tournament. This is where all the marbles are. Give them a little bit of idea what's up.
You can't be sure that they've watched everything ahead of time.
Yeah.
A lot of people are just going to pick up one or two races and then maybe go back and watch on YouTube or on Twitch sometime later. Or they're going to be here because they browsed over from Speed Gaming from some other game and they got roped in to watch us at that point. Just a little bit of what's going on and where the placement is helps, because then continuity for whatever they're seeing, and they know how hype a match might be.
Right. And you notice they hadn't really gotten into what the flags are yet. We haven't talked about what is actually going on. It's just framing what you're about to expect.
So the intro is important. Don't just dump in because you're not sure what people are going to know.
And as a commentary team, spend just 30 seconds beforehand. Who's going to kick it off? Who's going to be the one introducing everyone? And then how are you going to maybe start this first 3 minutes or so?
Yeah, someone will be like, do you want to do intro and then I'll do the flags? And that's, commentary before the race actually happens to make sure that they know exactly what they're doing. Fizzle and Luffy are very practiced, so they did that, and it's a very smooth intro.
But let's keep it going.
Yep.
we have Winter Tournament 24 on a stick. Do you remember Winter Tournament 24? Do you have fond feelings about Winter Tournament 24? Well, I sure do. So we decided to add on all weapons cast
Love it.
spells, and we got the whole range of magic spells. Nuke sticks on the table, fade sticks on the table, lamp sticks, believe it or not, on the table.
It's pretty crazy. You know, life is only going to come from a weapon if we find it. But I mean, there's some good stuff out there. Like you said, I've done a couple practices. I've seen as good as fade sticks. I've seen as bad as zap hammers. And we'll see what we get tonight.
So,
Cool. Yep.
So that's a good intro on the flags. And it's important there. We know Jay Sheldon and I and some of the other vets know what mage on a stick means. The weapons every single sword you're going to get, every single club is going to cast magic. But there are various versions of that out there. Some are curated, some aren't. There's powerful and less powerful. This, by just saying not only that's mage on a stick from Winter Tournament 2024, but also that, you know, nuke and lamp are on the table. That shows the wide gamut that people can expect in a very short period of time.
Yeah. If I had to put a little bit of criticism here, and far be it from me to criticize them a ton,
Sure.
it's they did go in with a small assumption on, hey, this is Winter Tournament 24, you know it, you love it type thing.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
again, maybe not all of the people watching, if they jumped in from another channel or this is the first time watching, oh, cool, that's Winter Tournament 24. But that does set up that the people running the race have probably seen this flag set many, many times because, oh, it's the Winter Tournament. This isn't something new. This is like, this should be something that like they know, and then we threw a spin on it.
Now, in fairness, it is the community meme. Winter Tournament 2024 came out, and then it's been used over and over again for various things. So if you know Final Fantasy Randomizer, you likely do know Winter Tournament 2024 at this point. But you are right. Like, one thing that Luffy could have done after Fizzle said that is like, yes, Winter Tournament 2024 is oops, all loose. Every key item is loose, and anything that goes to a key item turn-in person is going to be an incentive piece of gear. That's it right there. That's all you really have to say for Winter Tournament 2024, and it gets the gist across. So, mage on a stick with oops, all loose.
Yeah, and again, it's just framing what the viewer's about to see. You don't have to go down. This is not the Duckling Boot Camp. You don't have to hit every single checkbox on the list.
No.
Just give the broad overview, and as things unroll in the seed, then you can say, oh yeah, it looks like whatever flag is on, or this flag, you know. But
these things here are incentivized, or this item here may be important, or watch out for these things because they could be unrunnable, or the scripts aren't shuffled or something. Now, that's not applied to this flag set, but the key things they may see when they see them.
Yeah, so start out with this is a shard hunt, or this is the oops all loose, or oh, we're on the 2 orb required, and then move on.
Okay.
Keep going.
Classes are limited to a pool of draftables, and while it's unclear what exactly was going on in that pool, I can be pretty certain there were only 2 fighters in it because today's fighters have plus 20 vitality and plus 15 luck. The fact that there's only 2 tells me there was only 2 on offer.
Yeah, that's really, really good.
Thieves, meanwhile, can get equipped gauntlets and helmets and also plus 20 MDef. The black belts have plus 5 luck and plus fighter armor. And red mages, nobody took them. Don't know if they existed, but they would have had the wood armor evasion set bonus. And the ever so helpful plus 1 MP to all levels, which is great when all the magic shops are boarded up.
We got infinite casts if we got them with the weaponry anyway, so it's kind of funny that you can get that, but so it goes.
Now, I will comment. I like that they intro the things and they discuss like the classes that are on offer. They may have gone on a little too long about the classes. So,
but
like,
something to consider is this is probably the 10-minute delay area.
Yep.
So you do have some time to fill, and depending on how soon you jump in, like, oh, hey, we jumped in a little bit early. We got to fill an extra 2 minutes here or something.
Yeah, it's a balance between focusing on certain points the right length of time, and then like doing a bit of bounce back and forth of like, these are what they had, this is what they took. What do you think? Which party would you have taken from what we have? Which I don't think they covered. And then there's also what are you expecting in this flag set with this party? Those are things that you can do for color to fill time before the approximately 3 to 5 minutes of intro is over and the game actually starts. Which It's hard to find that balance. It's just gut
Yes.
instinct here. I found myself starting to zone out.
Yep. But if you were listening to some of the stuff Darkman was just saying there, if you're new to commentary, and especially if you're with a more veteran runner, one of the great things to do is ask the question.
Yes.
So yeah, we see the party members here. We see this, and then I'm sitting in a comm booth with Lord Fizzlebeef. What would you have taken? Like you know that you're in with a more experienced runner, or you're in with someone who's watched hundreds of games or something. You see this party. Well, I look at the screen right now and I see Mechlin took a nun. Why do you think Mechlin would have taken a nun over the rest of them? What's your thoughts? And it gets the discussion going.
Amusingly, Mechlin is our restreamer, so if we really wanted to ask him, we could. But but that's besides the point.
I knew.
That's besides the point. But yeah, it's exactly that. And the question is important, and it doesn't just have to be here. There are times even now, Mechlin, I wish I knew. That's great.
Right.
Yeah, I just saw that in chat. Yeah, the question, like even now as a vet who's been here for like 6-7 years now, I will still be in the booth with another veteran, and we'll see something happen. I'm like, this is what I would do. Why would you do this? Would you have done that? Would you have done something differently? It's like commentary doesn't just have to be watching the race and discussing what's happening. You can also be a back and forth interview with each other to get more thoughts on the process and how things could work and what could be done differently. It's a lot of armchair driving that when you can't actually control anything about the seed.
Yeah, and a big thing with it is it's not just filling the time, but you are kind of educating the people watching as well. Because you might ask, well, why did you take a nun? Well, that would be a perfect time for your co-con then to go, well, because I want to get more experience. And in Final Fantasy 1, if you don't have a character there, they get more experience, and you can go into the XP funnels, or you can do something.
Yeah.
Because you can't always assume everyone in chat has played this game.
Yeah, there's a lot that can be said at any point, and asking questions back and forth about it really does just kind of help the experience and keeps things lively. That's another thing to think about, is just being lively. So,
keep going.
Yep. 3 of the people on stream today have taken 4-person parties. Mechlin, the lone standout, with a 3-man team, but still taking 2 fighters and the thief. This is an interesting kind of remix, I think, of the flag set, where previously I think you really were better served trying to go for a 3-man and making it work. In this one, boy, I'm scared to go less than 4.
Okay, something to point out there. This is me slowly, gently digging at Fizzle a little there. That one was a very long monologue from him. 6 ums and a like. Now, I do that sometimes as well. I'm like, when I'm doing recording for my podcast, I find myself saying like way too much, and then Luffy feeds off me because he's my co-host there, and he says like too much, and that's because we're doing a live improvised discussion about some topic. It's good not to say it's good not to say like. You don't realize you're doing it at the time. I hear it so often after the fact when I'm going back to edit stuff. This is one of those things, like, you're listening. See, I just said it right there. You're listening to what you said afterwards, and now you can go, wow, I say a lot. I should work on that. I try to not do and instead, when I feel an coming on, I pause and take a breath instead. And it adds a little dramatic flair, which I'm not trying for, but mostly it just gets rid of the
Right. Knowing some of your ticks, like in the community, I know, and I say, like, I am a teacher, and if you ever want to be told what all of your little ticks are, go ask a 14-year-old. They will tell you. So, like, the more you listen to it, the more you do, the more you're going to realize I personally have a bad habit of minorly chuckling through things, and it's just not necessarily my nerves getting on it, but it's a way for me to try to stay engaged. I don't know if it comes through the microphone. I don't know if it doesn't. It's like, oh yeah, he's talking. Oh, he made a little laugh. I'm going to try to do something, and just being aware of what you do.
Yeah. Okay.
I've done a couple practices of these last night specifically, and I went 3-man because that's what I remember these being, and it wasn't enjoyable. I'll put it that way.
That is a good thing to
It's a
notice if you
choice,
see
and
the
I'm sad I
timer
made
going
it.
down.
Mhm.
We've also got alt fiends on the table. Oop, and we're off straight into the stick store. What do we have? Lit and A-lit. I believe we do have improved bad magic, so
We do,
Lit
yeah.
will do things. Lit will get us perfectly nicely through a Garland fight, and then we can hope that there are things in, I don't know, Provoca that will help us out.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll be opening some boxes too, if I'm not mistaken. I think we got
I liked Fizzle right there. This is me complimenting him now. I liked him calling it the stick store. That made me chuckle.
Nice. While you have it paused here,
yeah.
something that this flag set particularly is not going to show, but usually the first thing you see is you'll go into the magic shops. So you'll see black magic, you'll see white magic. That's a great time to talk about like what party comps they took, and if they would have taken a white mage, they could have gotten that third slot or something, and be able to discuss a little bit about some of your strategies with the magic.
Yeah, this is one of those cases where in this particular flag set that we're looking at right here, they could have said, we're not going to see them go to the mage shop because mage shop is not open to them. They're all closed. And they could have discussed a little more about what improved magic means so that they understand why Lit is going to get through Garland. Like, it's a brief point of Lit is going to do the same damage as the much more powerful Lit 3, except single target instead of AoE. So,
and especially when it's going to be our main damage dealer, they
Yeah.
can see right now. It's like that would have been a good point to bring up.
And also, why didn't they take A-Lit? Why is that not something you care about? And it's because it's not that great a spell. But that's, again, something you can touch on, especially because the only thing you had is one shop to look at and then go off to Garland.
Right. You've got
Yeah.
those first like 45 seconds of nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
some shard hunt going on here as well, if I'm not mistaken.
28 shards.
And see, that's another thing.
So we might find something useful in a
That's another thing they didn't touch on when they said, we're doing Winter Tournament 2024. They didn't mention the fact that it's Shard Hunt, which is vastly important.
box. Specifically right now, we'd like money, for sure.
Early canal out of dwarves is fun.
Yeah.
We really want early ship canal, so that's half of the puzzle. Slab, not so much. Meanwhile, over in TOF, we got gold bracelets and the crown.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jay Shadell, what do you think I'm going to harp on?
I am actually not 100% sure.
Well, first off, there's the ums. Again.
Oh.
But also, for me as a commentator, I would look at my co-coms and ask, why would you go over and do Dwarf when Garland is right there? Because Garland is going to lead to 2 key items. Dwarf is a great thing to check, but that's a weird move to make, and I don't feel like they really touched upon it at all, except they went there, which seems weird to me.
Right. And they did do a pretty good job about trying to bring your attention over there, though. Like, hey, this is different. We have Temple of Fiends over here, and looks like Scars going off on that side. But, yes.
Okay.
Very strong gold bracelet, too. +5. I mean, that's a really, really nice piece of endgame armor that was free in a box.
That's a good point.
Iker in chat, Provoca? What Provoca? The conceptual Provoca, the metaphorical Provoca, because we do in fact have Town Shuffle on. So Provoca will have something, and it's probably not Provoca, but it will probably have a weapon shop, and that's what we want.
Yeah, we got a better than 50-50 shot that it's going to have one. As long as we don't run into Lefane or On-Rack, it's, we'll see how it goes.
King Princess, we got a bridge and a loot. Wow. Okay. All right.
Is this even?
Yeah, and
quite literally.
Yeah. What? Okay.
Okay. So it's a lot of stuff. We're about mid-30 in, but I already feel like we can start skipping ahead a little bit. What about you, Jay Scheidel?
Yeah, totally. This is how most of your beginning seeds are going to go. You're going to have the opening shop that talk about how they're shopping, the items they grab. Oh, cool. We killed Garland. Looks like the bottom left guy went and grabbed a couple of chests. But now is when things start to break up.
Yep. So I'm going to skip ahead maybe...
Since I've seen that.
Here.
And suddenly we are level 7. Even with the absolute trash out of the gate scaling, because experience scales with shards and it starts muy low.
Mhm.
Oh, we're gonna try again. Oh, we greedy.
Yeah.
Nice little tidbit added in.
Okay.
Good commentary on the flow about the flags while making sure
Now,
people are keeping
there
up.
are going to be some things in Earth Cave that are definitely not supposed to be there. One of the things I have heard people joke about was the Earth lobsters that can show up from time to time.
Yeah.
Question in chat: what is the EXP shard scaling tonight? Let me get the concrete numbers.
Okay, this is something that I want to touch on. What you just heard from Fizzle was question in chat. What is the question? I have heard plenty of commentators. I think even I have done this once or twice. Jay Shuttle, I'm sure you can say the same. Where there's a
I
question.
know what you're about to say. Yep.
Yes, where there's a question in chat, and instead of framing the question so that anyone watching it later, like we are right now, will know it,
Right.
they just answer the question out of the fly. I appreciate exactly what Fizzle did because he first says the question and then lets us know what the answer will be once he looks it up. I mean, it'd be nice if he knew it off the top of his head, but I mean, hell, I don't know most of the questions off the top of my head. But the
Right.
fact that he let us know what it was is key.
Well, and like you said, someone watching later or even live, there's many times that I'm watching on my phone or something, and I've got chat minimized or off to the side.
Yep.
Or I'll be playing a game, I'll be doing something else on my main monitor, and I'll have a race on over here. Like, oh, there's a question in chat. What was that?
Yeah. And then if you don't know, you don't know. So, yeah. It's annoying for someone who's going back and watching it later when they're just randomly saying things. Oh, yeah, that's a great point, Rubes. And then not telling you what it was that Rubes said. And now you have no clue what the context of anything was. It was a great point.
Yeah.
What was the point that was made?
I'm so glad it was great then.
Yeah, that was fantastic. I'm appreciating that so much right now. So yeah, Fizzle doing that was the right way to do it.
And also knowing that it's okay to go look up stuff if you don't know the answer.
Yeah.
You don't have to be the ultimate authority. The wiki is there. Game Guides is there. Mike's RPG Center is there.
The flags are there.
If you've got the time, go and look it up. Now, don't make that everything you're doing. Oh, I'm gonna go look this up. I'm gonna go look this up. But it's okay.
Yeah. And you can also, like, that's one of those things of I need to look that up, but, still try and do the commentary. You can rely on your co-com to handle stuff, but still try and rely on commentary. And what's nice is not saying, I got to step away for a second and pulling yourself away from the race. If you have to take a pause, which I don't think we're going to hear from them, but if you have to take a pause or look something up or mute your microphone for some reason, oftentimes don't say that. Just take the break and type it in the behind the scenes chat with your co-com so they know, but don't make the stream about yourself. So Fizzle didn't. That's my brain wandered to that. Yeah. So
go on.
Okay.
100%
a little
per
longer
8
here.
shards. I just pulled it up.
100% per 8 shards, and we start all the way down at 1.5 times plus 75.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Ooh, 2 early ribbons, though. That's comforting. Got one from, I think it was Astos had one, but the crown. And Mecklin just picked up another there, loose inside of Marsh.
Don't get me wrong, Marsh is still good. Like, Marsh is on the to-do list. I just prefer to come back with a key.
Yeah. I looked away. Jay is still sitting on this tile. Okay. We got to be
Jay's decided
teams
that
right
these
now,
dragons
right?
are...
I'm going to ask, Jay Scheidel, why did you feel that tile was so...
I don't know.
But,
this was 4 months ago.
No, yeah, but that's the kind of question where you could be asking each other, why is this tile good? What's specific about it? It's zombie Ds plus, I think, mages. Is that really great? Would this be something that should be sat on? Do you agree, disagree with what Jay Scheidel is doing here? Jay Scheidel, do you agree with what Jay Scheidel was doing?
I'll have to go back and check the race results and tell you.
But that's just to reiterate on a point that we were making earlier.
Yeah.
Believe we did cross 10.
There's
Nope,
10
we just
there.
hit 10. There's 10.
That's very comfortable at 8.5 minutes.
Yep. Let's walk out, let's save, and then this game is going to be way less scary than it was like 2 seconds ago.
Okay.
Marsh Cave has your
Skip ahead
Mountain
a bit.
Continent starter
Jump
pack,
ahead.
though, with the rod and the ruby in there.
Go another 10 minutes
Boom.
ahead from here.
Jay, it's that the airboat. You just
Of
you
course,
just gotta
you
lift.
went to Fizzle yelling at me.
I was doing.
I'm sorry.
I think it was last night I did a practice, and I didn't know airboat was on initially, and I left my canoe over.
Oh,
by
it was
Latoya,
this seed.
and I'm getting
Oh,
the
I hate
floater,
you
like
pulling
walking
this one
around the
up.
inner sea.
I'm sorry. I didn't know that this was. I told you which one I was gonna do. I'm sorry.
I know. I forgot it was this one.
I'm assuming you made a major mistake.
Dog, go away. Yeah. For those of you in chat, this is the one that I forgot that airboat was on. And so
Oh,
I searched everywhere to find the canoe to go grab the boat. Yeah, okay. Anyway.
spoiler: your team won Fall League, so it didn't hurt you.
Yeah.
And,
all right, play.
my
Sorry.
ship was parked all the way back by Matoya, obviously at the river. And when I couldn't lift off from the desert, boy, that was not pleasant at 2:00 in the morning.
Okay, so something to note here: there's I think Luffy did it well, but there is a fine balance between talking about what you've done and talking about the race. Like the race is going on, and we're going to see people doing the same things at different times as each other, and it's fine to relate what you're seeing on screen to a practice you've done, or like when I would do commentary on like day 3 of one of these, and I played day 1, relating back to a race I did, because you're making things digestible and you're giving fun anecdotes about something. You can do that for short bursts, and Luffy did it well for a short burst.
Yes.
There's a way that you can suddenly make the entire race about yourself, even though you're not racing, and I've heard commentators do that, and that's something you should avoid.
Yeah, bringing in that personal touch, going like, hey, I've been in this situation, I feel it, or, oh, that reminds me of something that happened, whatever. It brings back memories. It lets you all have a good laugh at each other. Like, we just talked about this was my race, and I remembered all that. Awesome. But now we're back on to this. Like, it's time to bring it back to what you're focusing on. Focus on the runners. Focus on what's going on at this time.
Yeah, you take 30 seconds or so and do it, and then you bounce right back to the race, so that you give it a personal touch, but it's not suddenly all about you. And there are times I struggle with this. If I'm watching the same thing over and over again, I just start chatting about a race I had. It'll happen. So, yeah.
So everybody else currently in Earth Cave, they have the rod, so they will be able to push through. Will be interesting to see if there's anything on Earth 4.
Two things there. One, that was a long bit of dead air. I hate dead air. As a radio person who did radio, I hate dead air. And I know you don't have to constantly comment on everything, but I do feel like a long burst of dead air is not the best. The other thing, hold on, let me go back like a couple seconds.
Wait, you just said
Will be interesting to see if there's anything on Earth.
Oh, that was it. I struggle with this sometimes too. I try and make sure I do it. If you have to make a throat clearing or some other noise like that, mute your microphone.
Yeah.
So,
but to the dead air comment for just a little bit.
Yes.
I personally think it's okay to have a little bit, especially like if you're trying to think of something or you're actually working on something, it's okay. But yeah, if you've noticed it's gone by 5-10 seconds or something, try to bring a conversation up. It doesn't have to be, oh, and it looked like Mecklin's still in Earth Cave. But no, this would be the time to go like, I'm just looking on the screen here. Oh, I see Scar is over here on this dragon tile. Is this the same dragon tile that Jay was on earlier or not? Bring up a conversation, something there.
The one thing, chat was just talking about this as we're doing this thing. If we don't have anything to say and I can't come up with anything, sometimes I'll just look and be like, I love Mecklin's treasure chest monster sprites or something. I'll just segue into something else to fill time until something important comes up, and we can have a conversation about like his fun monster sprites or something else from the sprite archive or something. It doesn't necessarily have to be exactly about the race, but you've started a conversation about FFR to keep things flowing before something interesting happens again.
Well, and I think the big thing is to try to find something that starts that conversation.
Yep.
If you're just pointing out things that's happening on screen, it's not really filling that dead air. You want to do something that will bring in your co-coms or bring in the chat or something. Even if it goes to, hey, let's talk about food again. But you want to do something that will bring something up.
food chat is a go-to for FFR. It's the ultimate filler. We can be just doing whatever, and then at some point something will remind us of food, and we'll just have a conversation for like 5 minutes about
Yeah.
food while the game's going on. And everyone seems to love it. It's one of those weird times where you can make the race not about the race, but no one in the
And it
audience
works.
seems to mind. Yeah, it still works.
Yeah, right.
Who doesn't love pizza? You know?
It's not an insignificant amount of boxes down there.
It's 8. I like Earth 4. If I'm gonna go through Earth, I will check it in these flags.
Mm-hmm.
Is that dead air again?
Oh, he's moving arms. No. Jay.
Airboat. Oh boy.
Jay. All right.
I'm
Figure
sorry.
it out.
I'm gonna skip
We'll get
ahead
there
because I feel
eventually.
bad for
We'll
you.
get there.
Yeah.
No, it's fine.
fine.
It's totally cool.
There we
It
go.
is time to skip ahead,
Volcano
though.
Oxio and more cardio.
So pause just really quick.
Scar.
Sure.
I don't know how long they've been going at it, but times like this, depending on how the race has been going, is
Mhm.
where things in commentary could get interesting. So I
Mhm.
think I was just going back into Earth Cave here. I don't remember where Odoron was. Mechlin is up in Acardia Island. We've got Scar going down to Lefane. You have 4 different runners in 4 different locations, and your
Mhm.
eyeballs are bouncing around.
Mhm.
So
It's
try
hard.
to find a way to, bring focus to one, or have your co-coms bring focus to one. And obviously, if there's a new place, you're bringing
Mhm.
focus to it.
So yeah, you're in Earth Cave. If I was doing commentary for this race, I probably wouldn't focus on you too much, except to say,
Yeah.
"Cool, Jay Scheidel's gotten through Earth Cave now." But like, if
Right.
Mechlin's at a new spot, or if Scar is at a new spot, I'll put some focus on them for the time being, just so that we know what to follow before we get back to just the race in general. 4 people is hard to comms. These 2 are handling it really well. When we set you up with doing comms initially, it'll probably be, if as a new person, doing a 1v1 or something, because that's just easier for you to focus on. 2 people to watch, 1 who's going to be in the lead. It's, you know, what the balance is going to be a whole lot more. This one, 4 people going, 2 or 3 who may be like in a tight race, that's really hard to
Yeah.
commentate.
Well, and if you are interested in getting into commentary, we will always try to pair you with someone who has done it multiple times.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Very,
Someone who has a
very
good
rarely
voice.
will we ever pit 2 newbies.
Yeah, no. You'll be with a vet who knows what they're doing and sounds good on the air, so it won't be me.
Yeah.
But
Or me.
Down the slab turn in. They must really, 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 really want something that they don't have yet. Maybe chasing down the Excal?
Maybe.
Well, we got a sword. It's not buffed. Cast Quad X, that's nothing to sneeze at. I don't know what it is. Whoop, whoa. Nope. Well, doesn't matter. We're going to hang on to it.
so I feel like keeping an eye on that's good, but there's other stuff going on. Like, they could be talking about right now the fact that you are in the Lich fight while they wait for the Excal to get determined. That was maybe a little too much focus on something they couldn't really predict or know when there's actual activity going on.
But I do get the view of, hey, we want to see what this item is, because a lot of runners go way too fast. And if they're grabbing an item, they're just clicking A through it. It's like, oh, what was that? That was a quad X plus what? You know? So I get it. Yeah.
I feel like that's a thing where you note, hey, Jay Scheidel's fighting the... What the hell is that? That's one of the fire orb bosses for the alt feeds. I can't remember. It's FF6. It's a
Lich.
game I haven't played. Huh? It's at the Lich
I think
spot.
it's Fire Eater.
It's
yeah.
a Fire Eater at Lich. And then while
That's
you're
what I
saying that, you're watching the other window and maybe hoping that that prompts your co-coms to say something about the Fire Eater fight that Jay Scheidel is in, so that you can keep an eye on the sword and see what it is. And then once everything's resolved, be like, it's a Quad X sword. I'm not sure what it is, but he seems to like it because he kept it. And then you just kind of move on.
Well, and also remember that it's not just the commentary in the booth. You've got the tracker too, who's actually looking at those items. And so, like, if you got a tracker who's doing well at keeping notes, who's like writing things down, they will have written down, looks like Lefane was Quad X. And then you can just look on your notes.
The Quad X something. And then you can just kind of like, what is the Quad X something going to be? And you look at, if you know the flags, you can look at the flags like, well, it's got to be one of these 2 swords. There you go. I think it probably was the Quad X Excal because it was incentivized and didn't have the sword icon after it. So
Yeah, well, it had 40-something damage. I saw it go by
Yeah.
really quick. So yeah.
Yeah. So
Cool.
Okay.
Skip us ahead. Let's see.
okay, skip
Whatever
ahead.
it is,
I
we
can do
can't
that.
equip it until we improve
Go
it anyway.
another chunk.
Mechlin saving at the end of shame.
Sorry, Mechlin.
Look, how does that inn get that big if nobody stays there?
I do like that comment though from Fizzle making a joke about how does that inn stay in business if no one stays there. It's just a funny line. Fizzle is good at funny lines like that.
And he's
Mhm.
good at just letting them happen. Don't
Yeah.
try to force it.
No, he doesn't force it. His jokes just come spur of the moment, but it's a natural kind of commentary that he's gotten good at. Where like just funny things come up and he has a funny turn of phrase that he can just apply to things. I really like listening to him on comms because he always makes me chuckle.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I didn't say it wasn't nice. I just said it's the end of shame.
God, I love this song from the TMNT soundtrack.
Oof.
Sorry, that's just me commentating.
So Scar has approached the Twin Tanya fight. Mechlin, still in C with the sea encounters.
Mhm.
All your favorites: Badman lobsters, worms. You know, the huge.
Yep.
This is a lot of silence here, I'm going to note.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
I was gonna say, here, if you want to pause for a little bit.
Mhm.
And even the stuff that was kind of brought up here, if we're going to go a little bit more critical. Yeah, we're talking about the encounters. Oh, hey, it's the stuff that's in C. We're naming them off. Like, could you have brought a conversation up with that? Could you have asked,
Yeah.
like, what's your least favorite encounter in this? Or,
Yeah.
like what you said earlier, we have Scar, who's actually on a fiend
Boss.
fight right now.
Yeah.
Like, can we be watching it? We could talk about C, which is totally fine. It may be the first time we've seen it. But you have actual action going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if there's an active thing in progress that feels like it's more important than just maybe making a light joke about bad men
Mhm.
and worms and sea, which are unusual. That means this is an Enemizer flag set, which I'm sure they raised earlier and we skipped over it. But I feel like it's not relevant to what we're talking about right now, and it's not really keeping engagement on the race.
Yeah, it allowed for that just a little bit of lull filling, and we probably went through,
Mhm.
what, 15, 20 seconds there of,
Mhm.
uh,
Yeah, exactly.
right.
Okay, more shards. Doing well with that.
I'm not even sure who he's talking about when he says that.
What level do you expect our runners to sort of aim for by the time we hit Topher?
Oh, jeez. I mean,
See, but that's a good question that he bounces. He gets a conversation going when the lull gets too long by start discussing levels that they should be aiming for. I do like the redirect at that point.
Yep.
Yeah.
But, like we said, if they were end up talking about the fiend fight, the thing that was going on there, you could have talked about, did you see what was happening in that fiend fight?
Yeah.
Like, they quad X'd him at the very end. So you could have talked about quad X and how it was either a great method or not, and what the power word spells are. They may have done it earlier. We didn't watch all of it, but that would have been a great thing to bring up.
Yeah, especially because that fight's active. And then you have the level
Yeah.
discussion afterwards. Yeah. Okay. Bounce ahead a little bit
I
further.
would like
To resists lightning? I'm not 100% on that.
Oh, actually, I want to pull a little back. Hold on.
Incoming LOL melee.
Should not have done that with my microphone live. See, I told you. That's what I'm
looks
saying.
like
Boy, we're sure in that direction.
I was mousing
Mhm.
while I was doing it, so I couldn't
And landed.
mute and mouse. But
Yep.
yeah, no.
that
I
looks
felt
full to me.
if I were actively like commentating right now, that burp that I just let out, which I apologize for, I really should have muted my microphone first.
Well,
See?
and just on a technical aspect here,
Mhm.
know your equipment. Do you
Yes.
have a headset that has the little button on the side that you can click
Mhm.
to mute yourself? Do you know that I need to use push to talk and you need to have Z or something on your keyboard to talk? Like, just knowing yourself, knowing how to use it, and knowing that you can excuse yourself, or if my stupid dogs start barking again, I know how to
Yep.
turn it off,
Yep.
Making sure that you're aware of what's going on.
And I mean, you heard that burp, I assume, but you didn't hear the 3 coughing fits during this whole process that I've muted so that you didn't have to have that going on in the background. That's me using my my equipment the best place I can. But unfortunately, it's like there's only so many processes I can do at once when I'm also trying to run this thing.
Right.
So.
And Mecklin calling out, cat fights breaking out. Yep.
That's happened for all of us, I think, more than once. Yeah. Or like my
And
wife has come home from work in the middle of something I'm trying to commentate in the afternoon, and I have to furiously suddenly mute so that I can chat with her for a couple while my co-coms
Right.
handle something. Yeah, exactly. These things happen. That's not to throw shade at my wife. I want to talk to her.
Right,
I'm
right.
just saying, no one else wants to hear from her while it's not relevant to the race. You know?
But you might go ahead and start pushing us a little bit more towards the end here so we can wrap this thing up
That was
before the
actually why I
memorial
backed
stream.
up just a little, because if you
Yeah.
notice in the bottom left corner.
So at 46 minutes in, Odron first into the Temple of Fiends.
Okay, this is not anything about this, but I have something I want to comment on. Everyone apparently says Odron's name differently. I don't understand why.
Odoron?
You say Odoron, I say Odron. Fizzle said Odron. I've heard other pronunciations for it. I've heard Odron before.
We just need to ask them.
Right? This is what I was trying to get at, is if you have a question about how someone's name is pronounced. Like I did a VOD review just a couple hours ago for Laser, Lasrrr. I think it's Laser. They didn't correct me in chat, so I'm assuming I said it right. But that could have been Lasser or Lazar or something else. So if you have a chance, you should, and you know that you can get in touch with them before a race or something, ask them how their name is pronounced. We should really be asking, how does Odron say his name, so that we stop saying it incorrectly?
Well, and a side thing to bring off with that, before the race even begins, either sit down with someone in the race time room or whatever. If you're not sure on pronouns, also try to check them out. Like, let's try to be as respectful as we can. If they would like to be spoken as of a certain way, please try to respect that as much as you can. Obviously, you're going to have you're going to have problems sometimes. You might say they or guys or whatnot, but to the best of your ability, try to say things as they prefer.
Yeah, I like, for not to single them out here on stream, but I know Scarcer is they them, and Mecklin is, and Mecklin could correct me if I'm actually wrong, but I'm certain that they're they them as well. I tend to call everyone they. They've gone in here, they've done this, they've done that, because almost no one is offended by being referred to as they. But some people are, and if you find out that they are, you actually need to figure out a way to address it. The other way is to avoid it completely and always refer to them by their names. Which I've done plenty of times. Mecklin is doing this. I wonder why Mecklin's doing that. That seems kind of silly.
And as Chad is saying, they has long been a neutral pronoun.
It has.
It's a pretty safe way to go.
It's safe, generally. But again, I have their, and I'm not going to say who. I'm not going to say who, because I don't want to single anyone out. But I do know of at least one runner that is fine with he, him, or she, her, but not they, them.
But not they.
So, again, I think it's because it's too impersonal, and they don't want, like, that being implied by their pronouns. So they want you to pick one or the other, but not the middle ground. So, again, if you think there might be an issue, verify it.
Yeah, but the biggest thing is just to the utmost ability of that you can do, be respectful.
Yeah.
And if you learn it, and if someone corrects you or if chat says something, do your best to continue it in the way they prefer.
Yeah.
Like, everyone gets a mulligan or 3.
Yeah. Like, and if you're respectful about, there was a time, I don't do this anymore, but there was a time where, and it wasn't a race that Scar was in, but there was a race that they were watching, and we did some jokey pronouns. I think Potato was one of the ones racing, and I put their pronouns at their request as Tater Tot. They thought it was funny. I thought it was funny. But Scarcer mentioned that it could be found offensive, and we obviously don't want to offend everyone. We did it as a joke then because it was with the player approval. But they said it could be viewed as it because no one would know the context of why we were doing that, and we don't want to be disrespectful of that. So I stopped doing that altogether. The only person who I will ever write anything weird for their pronouns is Danny, because Danny requests it and I write wheels. So, but generally, we want to make sure that you are respectful of it, that you are using it, that you aren't doing anything jokey with it. And while Fall League is hard because the pronoun spot here is used up by the team names because we only have so much room on the layout. generally you'll have the pronouns listed on there. So make sure before you refer to someone by he, him, she, her, they, them, or whatever, look at their pronoun spot and make sure you're doing it right.
Yeah, and a little bit of good research to do beforehand. We
Mhm.
have the tag or we have the role in Discord, so you can always go click on their name in Discord. And honestly, Race Time has done very good about it.
Yeah.
Usually the pronouns are listed by it. So like go to the race announcement, click on the race room, and just look. There's a lot of great things.
Yeah, I actually have the custom title of no pronoun that we put into the bot. That's the one that I take because I don't like want to be referred to by anything specific all the time. So usually I'm just like, whatever you want to call me is fine. Just don't categorize me one way or another. So it's just, I'm weird, but that's another one of those ones where you should ask somebody if they have no pronoun. What do you mean by that? Do you only want to be referred to by your name? Are you okay with they them? What is this for you? So anyway, so let's go
Yeah, let's
back
check
to
out the ending here.
Yep, let's go back to Odron.
Yeah.
We'll try and watch at least some of Odron, or maybe skip ahead to someone else, but we'll get some of this Topher going.
Mid-toe for all 4 of them.
Now here's where the real wild encounters are.
Uh-huh.
Alright. Flame Eater 2.
I don't...
Going with spells.
So there's a way to do this, and I'm going to back it up for a second, but there's a way to do a boss fight like this that is different from how they were doing it. And like this comes from me having done active comms with a couple vets way back in the day when we were hyper vigilant about boss fights. And that would be, okay, he's going with spells, nuke, lit,
Right.
fade,
Flame
another
Eater 2.
flame, fire 3, just going to go all out power on this. And you just fill the time with that right there. Sometimes only one person will commentate the boss while the other person sits back and lets them handle it. They'll switch back and forth on bosses, or one person is much better at just handling fast commentary on the bosses every time. And then you're going to be like, they cast with nuke against Fire Eater 2 and they do 218 damage. Crack comes out. Doesn't hit out. Hits 2. 2 are slain, 2 are there, and he resets out of it because he needs both players. That's fast, full comms. That is much more full than what Fizzle was doing.
Take a note off of soccer.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I always think of. Anytime that happens, I just think about like those soccer collars.
Yeah, it's a sport. It's weird to think of FFR, a game that is now nearly 40 years old, a randomizer for a game that's 40 years old, as an active sport. But we're basically doing an esport here. And you are the play-by-play and color commentary for an esport. So you want to make sure in key moments you are doing fast, active play-by-play. The bosses are the most important time for that.
Right. And just like in a boxing or in a race or something, whenever it's getting intense, usually the commentators get more intense. So we're in Temple of Fiends here. We're on the last little bit of it. It's okay to start calling out all the spells. Now, if you're fighting a Sahag in the middle of the ocean, we don't need to call out every single lit that got cast. But now's the time to do it.
We are running out of time, so I want to try and get in
please.
and see what we have going. I'm going to spoiler for a second because I just want to see if this is cool. Okay, let's do a chaos fight, and then we're going to go cut over to interviews.
Yep.
Come on.
In Mirage and/or Sky.
Okay, let's see what he says for the build-up.
Jay's current location in Mirage and/or Sky.
Yeah, that's a gross fight.
I doubt they're going to find the Maza. But
I'll shine some hairs. Ugh.
But turn-ins, we probably found some good swords along the way.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see a chaos.
And they're not commentating it, which is weird to me so far. I would be automatically
first
focusing.
Look at chaos.
There we go.
What do we got? Doing some jiggling.
Again, lots of dead
Moving
air.
some things, having some fun.
That was
And
not
in we go.
great.
Time for chaos. Invis, 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 invis. Methinks we are going for the extra point strategy. Early melee shot from chaos to that thief. Takes it under 100. 4 invis stacks are going to go off in return. Invis, 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 invis. Incoming melee still manages to get through. This is a laser guided chaos right here.
So this is not as active. Okay, I'm just going to pause here. This is not as active of play-by-play as I would like for my chaos fight.
Yeah,
All I'm
this is
saying.
the ultimate fight. This is like
Yes.
this is the end of the race.
Yes.
This is one person's about to pull it through.
Yes.
Go ahead and hype this up as much as you can.
Focus, draw all the attention, make it as big as you can, because this is important right here, especially because this is his first time doing it. I don't want to say it this way and sound like a dick, but it sounds low energy to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And
okay.
not watching the rest of the seed, we don't know what was all happening. But agreed.
No.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
get some interview
Okay.
really quick.
Yep.
So on my part, I did things that I knew I should not have done. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it.
So, I guess let's start at the beginning. Walk me through decision on party.
Okay. So what we have here is we have the last of the players crossing the finish line. I'm not going to harp on Scar at all here. We'll just pause right now and not rub it in, because he just finished last. But it's a thing of you have the person there. You're getting into the interview. You start asking questions, whether it's your first person or you last. You want to make them feel validated in their run. So you ask a question about what they did, what they were happy with, what they weren't. Scar covered some of that already, and you kind of do a little bit of into it. You get a lot of time with Odron in this particular race because he finished way before other people. So you've already done the Odron one, Mechlin, Jay Scheidel. Scar comes in last. You want to make sure that you don't spend too long, but you want to spend at least a couple minutes with them so they don't feel like they're getting rushed out the door.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And trying to remember, we didn't watch all the interviews here, but yeah, ask them how the race was, what their high, low, what their lows were. Like I remember in this one, they asked me about the airboat because that was a big thing that I ran around on. Mm-hmm. But when you come to the final runners on here, try to give them a chance to tell their story, give them a chance to talk a little bit. But yeah, you need to wrap things up. We've been sitting here for a while, watching things go, depending on how long it's been, you know.
Yep. Okay, so with that, I wanted to see if I can cut over to outro. Let's see, give it a second. It's got to YouTube refresh itself. Sorry.
Growing, you know.
So then I think let's move this on then to final thoughts.
Okay, so this is a FFR tradition. Final thoughts. You give each person a chance to say what they think, how they feel about the race, blah blah blah. They each make a point. It's not something that every community does, but it's something that we do. So when you're doing commentary, if your co-com doesn't mention it, then you can mention it. Once everything seems to have petered out after maybe 10 minutes or so of post-race interviews, don't let it go on too long. You don't want to keep the channel open forever. Then you can go to final thoughts to do a wrap-up.
And that is a good way, like, if the conversation's starting to get long or starting to circle back on itself, a good, just easy thing to say is, hey, we need to give RPG Limit Break back their channel, or we need to get FFR back their channel. Like, it's a kind way to say, let's go.
Yep. And then?
Just because I like the Mage on a Stick from Lithuanian League, and I really like the All Loose, or the Semi All Loose. It's a really fun flag set. I wish I did better. Oh well.
All right, Luffy, final thoughts.
I mean, you know.
Oh yeah, and your final thoughts are going to be not just you, like the people that raced, but also the people in the booth with you, just to make sure everyone has a chance to speak one last time.
Thank you to the runners for putting on a show tonight, kicking off week 3. You know, it's going to be Mage on a Stick all week long there, Chad. So enjoy it all week. We'll hopefully find more nuke sticks and fade sticks. Thank you to RPG Limit Break for letting us use the channel.
Always
thank
good to
you
thank
to the
the channel
crew for joining us tonight.
Yep.
Thank your supporters,
Sorbius and Oz and Kumo. Thanks Fizzle for hanging out with me, and yeah, we'll see you guys again tomorrow night. I think race 2 is on Monday, so see you guys.
All right, for everybody here at the Final Fantasy Randomizer community, my name is Lord Fizzlebeef, and we will see you all next time. Have a good night, everyone.
And then you'll get it eventually as you work your patter and you learn what you're saying and how you say things a certain way. It's most of the time you don't want to be too repetitive. We didn't hear that here, so I didn't get to harp on that. But you can have an outro that you're used to. I know Luffy says, Final Fantasy fam, we go. I'll be like, I can't even remember what I say, but like when I get in the middle of my patter, I have a speech that I do.
Right.
If you like what you saw and you want to see more, go to FinalFantasyRandomizer.com because I try and make sure the website gets hyped and things that are coming up and everything. Be like, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you all next time. Because that's also the outro on my podcast. So
And
you develop
yeah,
your
just
own way of saying things.
make sure that it's clear that the restreamer knows, okay, we are done. You give it a few seconds so they know when to cut it. It's always a great thing to call out the randomizer webpage in the Discord. If we're on any of our sister channels or ours, you might also throw the link in the chat. We don't have chat up here, so I can't tell if one of them did the exclamation mark FFR or not.
You can do it
But
right now.
throw it there. It's like, if you like what you
Ta-da.
see, join us in the chat, and you can see it there.
Yep.
And
Exactly.
a side note, as the more like, I'm not saying I'm responsible, but as the responsible ones in the booth back here, you might also check your broadcast notes, because one of us might jump in and say, hey, make sure to hype up this thing, or we've got something coming up next week.
Yep.
So before you sign off, always check the broadcast notes to see if an admin or a mod jumped in to say, hey, check out this one thing.
Yep.
So just a few notes.
But with that, we really should cut over because we're about to intrude on the Tetron stream. So we need to let that come up now. So Jay Chanel, any final thoughts? Look at that.
I don't. There you go. I don't have a ton. Commentary is not as hard as you think, especially when you're paired with someone really good.
They'll get you going.
You can be that person asking the questions. If you don't know everything, that's fine. Get paired with Luffy. Get paired with Fizzle. Get paired with Dark Moon or someone. And they'll just go, why would you do that? What's going on here?
What do you think about this?
Yeah. It's okay to be that person asking the question.
Yeah. Questions are good. Questions get conversation going. Questions inform the audience. So, I will do the outro now. Thank you, everyone, for watching. From everyone here at Final Fantasy and everyone in the audience, we want to thank you. Say that it was great to have you here. We hope this was informative. We hope you learned a lot. And we will see you all next time.